Mike Anderson is the owner of Driftwood Kennels near Lincoln, Nebraska. He discusses how he developed an interest in the dog kennel and training business.
We purchased this ground in January and we opened up in July of 2004. And ground up installation, building, greenfield site, so to speak, and started from nothing. And basically I'm the owner. We built it in 2004 and 2007. We built our house on the property, so we're totally committed to the dog kennel business. And what I do as the owner, I'm responsible for hiring employees. I do the advertising. I pay the bills. I do all the financing. So this is a business that I run. Along with that, since it is a small operation, I do everything from cleaning kennels to dealing with bank finances. So it's a full-scale business. Primarily I do boarding, grooming, and training here at Driftwood Kennels. My vision for the place was for this to be a community kennel, a neighborhood-style family-owned business where people could come not only to do boarding, grooming, and training, but use it as a source of information. I've been training dogs since the mid-late 70s, and so I have a wealth of knowledge that I like to share with people, and that's primarily what we do at this point.
Anderson discusses the types of training that is offered at Driftwood Kennels.
We have several different programs that we do here for dog training. I'm the primary dog trainer. We do consulting work. For example, if somebody's having a problem with their dog, I do consulting work on that. We have a in-house training thing. For example, if someone is having trouble with their dog, an 80-pound woman with a 120-pound lab that's jumping on them, tearing up things, she's not able to do the work that it takes to get that dog under control. So people will actually leave their dog with me for 30, 60, 90 days, whatever they want to do, and I will work with the dog. But throughout that whole process, I also work with the owners, trying to educate the owners as well as the dog itself. That's the main thing, is getting the owners educated. The dogs are easy. The owners are the ones that are difficult to deal with. And then we also do doggy daycare training. We take a dog in for daycare training. I work with the owner 4 days, or with the dog 4 days a week. They drop the dog off in the morning. They pick it up that night. We work with the dog 4 days a week. And then on the 5th day, we work with the owner. Again, it's the making sure that the owner is speaking the same language that I do with the dog so that the dog understands. And those are basically the training programs that we have.
The companion animal industry has dramatically changed throughout the years. Anderson shares his viewpoints on these changes.
The pet industry is completely different today than it was back then. I think that major corporations are seeing the pet industry as a huge profit center for them, both in the sale of retail items, both in the sale of dog food, and in the way dogs are dealt with. And so then it becomes a matter of a profit center versus what is best for your dog. And seeing people come in here with different viewpoints on what is correct for their animal and the best for their animal, there's so many different viewpoints today on what that is. It's hard for the average pet owner to decide what really is best for my dog. Getting over the hype of the marketing, of training, of boarding, of grooming is very difficult for the average pet owner. And I think that's a huge challenge for the companion animal industry right now. I don't particularly care for some of the things that are happening in the market because I don't think that a major corporation has your pet's interest at heart. It is more of a profit center, and they're more interested in profit. So for someone coming out of college, they have to be able to decide what direction they want to go. It's all important, but they have to have their own set of morals and ethics and values in place before they decide on the way they want to go with a major corporation.
Anderson provides his opinion on what students should be doing to prepare themselves for careers with companion animals.
I think the companion animal program that you have is wonderful for people who want to proceed forward. People have a love of pets doesn't not necessarily make them suitable for the industry. You know, my friend Jill has an analogy about a lady who was the best pie maker on earth. And somebody said to her, well, you should start a business making pies and start and make pies for a living because you're so good at it. It didn't take very long for her to be out of business because she was great at making pies, but she didn't know how to run a business. And so with me, I learned a lot about dogs early on, but my business experience really prepared me to do business in the dog industry. So you need to have a good mix of both education and practical experience. And I think that if any advice to those people who are in your program, I would think try to find in your internships practical experience along with the education that the university is providing them so that they can be an expert in their field. You have to have a combination of both book and experience in order to do it.
Career opportunities with the companion animal industry are vast and growing.
The pet industry as a whole is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's one of the fastest growing industries in the world right now because of the number of pets that are out there. Of course, as far as careers go, the veterinarian industry is comes to mind first. There are vet tech positions that are available that don't require as much education or expense as the veterinarian. There is, of course, the boarding kennel industry, which I am in. There are a lot of people that in major corporations that are putting in boarding facilities, and there's always going to be a need for educated boarding kennel managers. Grooming is a huge industry right now, and it can be quite lucrative if you have your own shop. If you're on commission at a decent shop, that's another way to go. It's very demanding, it's very physical. Training, the need for training as the number of dogs and cats and other animals in the United States grows, the need for qualified trainers is definitely there. Training facilities, but again, it comes back to the experience and the correct way of training a dog is very important. Cookie cutter approaches, in my mind, are not good, but training is another avenue. The pet food industry and nutrition. Nutrition is a big issue these days because there are so many different pet foods out there, so many different pet food companies, so many different ways of looking at keeping your dog healthy, and they're all looking for nutritionists for their dogs. The pet industry, information industry is another application that could be very lucrative. I see the quest for information about the proper way to do things and feed your dogs is another industry that you could go into. You can look in every crooked corner of a business and find a need industry. Retail, the PetSmarts, the Petcos of the world are always hiring qualified educated individuals for